Hey everyone, and welcome to RUBIN'S Mind Lab, where we break down the latest research into what it really means. Ever wonder why your favorite team's excitement seems to fizzle out partway through the season? Or why that passion you felt at the beginning doesn't quite stick around? Well, this new study might have some fascinating answers. Today we're diving into the world of passion and how it changes over time, especially for things we love that have a set season. Like sports researchers wanted to understand if our passion for these activities actually dips during the season and then bounces back. They even came up with a cool idea called the Seasonal Attenuation of Passion hypothesis, or SAP for short. It basically says that passion for seasonal things tends to fade a bit while the season is happening. To get started, the researchers built on an existing idea called the Dualistic model of passion. This model says passion is a powerful force driving us towards things we love and that are a big part of who we are. It also breaks passion down into two types: harmonious passion, which is when you love doing something and it fits well with the rest of your life, and obsessive passion, which is when you feel like you have to do it and it takes over your life. We all know motivation isn't constant. Sometimes our passion for something grows, and other times, well, we get bored or frustrated and it fades. The big question for these researchers was how, when, and why this happens with passion. Previous studies had mixed results, possibly because they looked at different activities, different time frames, or measured passion in different ways. That is where the SAP hypothesis comes in. It specifically looks at activities that have a season, like baseball. It predicts that during the season, passion will decrease. But here is the interesting part. It also suggests that passion might increase between seasons. Think about baseball fans. The season starts, they're excited, but then as game after game goes by, maybe some losses happen. Maybe the team isn't performing as well as hoped, and that initial spark can start to dim a bit. The SAP hypothesis suggests that these ongoing experiences, both good and bad, can impact the core elements of passion, like how much you love it, how valuable it is to you, how much time and energy you put into it, and how much it is part of your identity. The idea is that while good things can keep passion up, bad events often have a stronger impact. So, over a whole season, the things that might weaken our passion could be more common and stronger than the things that boost it, leading to an overall dip. So, how does this happen? The researchers talked about a few possible reasons. One is habituation, basically. Seeing the same thing over and over can make it less exciting, leading to boredom. Another is unrealistic expectations. We might think our team will do amazing, and when they don't, we feel disappointed. Then there is burnout, a state of emotional exhaustion that can definitely kill passion. One mechanism they highlighted is called savoring. Savoring is about really enjoying and holding on to those good moments when something positive happens with your team. Savoring helps you really soak it in, feel grateful, and even learn more about what you love. But as the season goes on, we might get so used to things happening that we actually savor them less. And if we don't savor the good stuff, we might be more likely to lose passion. In a previous study, the researchers looked at student athletes and sports fans and found that passion did tend to decrease during the season. But they also noted that the fans in their study were supporting a team that had a pretty bad season, which might have made the passion dip even bigger than it normally would be. This brings us to the other part of the SAP hypothesis. What happens between seasons? If passion goes down during the season, how do people stay passionate for years? The researchers proposed that passion might rebound and increase between seasons. This idea, though, hadn't been tested yet. So in this new study, the researchers set out to do three main things. First, see if passion really does decrease during a season. Second, check if passion increases between seasons. And third, explore what kinds of things like savoring might explain these changes. To do this, they gathered a big group of Major League Baseball fans, over 1,200 of them from all sorts of teams. This was important so they wouldn't just be looking at fans of one team that was losing a lot. They had these fans fill out 4 online surveys. The first one was taken about a month into the 2023 MLB season. The second survey was around the middle of the season. The third was near the end of the regular season. And the fourth survey was taken about a month into the next season, the 2024 season. This allowed them to see what happened during the 2023 season, and then what happened between the end of the 2023 season and the start of the 2024 season. Throughout these surveys, they asked about passion, of course, but also about things like how much fans savored good moments, how they felt their team was performing, their overall fan experiences, and how satisfied they were with their team. To analyze all this data, they used a fancy statistical technique called piecewise growth modeling. Basically, this lets them see how something changes over time. And importantly, if there is a point where that change pattern shifts, this is perfect for looking at a change during a season and then a change between seasons. Now, for the exciting part, the results, what did they find? Well, they found support for the first part of the SAP hypothesis. Across all the ways they measured passion, harmonious passion, obsessive passion, and what they called passion criteria, which is like the core ingredients of passion, all of them tended to decrease throughout the 2023 MLB season. This decline was small, about 6%, but remember, this is for something as important as being a fan of your favorite team. But what about between seasons? Did passion rebound? Here the results were a bit less clear. They found a small increase in harmonious passion, but not really for obsessive passion or the other passion measures. So the idea that passion bounces back strongly between seasons didn't really hold up. This is a really important point. If passion dips during the season and doesn't really bounce back much between seasons, how do people stay diehard fans for years and years? The researchers suggest that maybe passion doesn't just magically rebound after a break. Instead, it might reignite when something new and exciting happens, like a favorite team making a great trade, a player having an amazing season, or even getting season tickets as a gift. These big moments, rather than just the regular cycle of a season, might be what keeps passion alive. Now, let's talk about those mechanisms, the why behind the changes. And here, one factor really stood out, savoring. They found strong evidence that fans who savored their team's successes more also reported higher levels of passion throughout the study. This means that actively appreciating and enjoying the good moments with your team seems to be a key ingredient in keeping your passion strong, even when the season is dragging on. The other things they looked at, like team performance perceptions, positive fan experiences, and team satisfaction, had some links to passion, but they weren't as consistent as savoring. For example, even if your team played well, it didn't always guarantee high passion if you weren't savoring those wins. Like all studies, this one has its limitations. They focused only on the regular season of baseball, and we all know the playoffs can be a whole different ballgame for fan excitement. Also, their findings are specific to baseball fans, so we can't say for sure if the same pattern applies to other seasonal activities like whale watching or skiing. And importantly, they looked at how things were at the same time, so they can't definitively say one thing caused another. But even with these limits, this study gives us a really valuable insight into the dynamic nature of passion. It confirms that our passion for seasonal activities isn't static, it ebbs and flows. So the big takeaway is that passion does tend to get sapped during a season, but it doesn't necessarily rebound strongly between seasons. The real key to keeping that passion alive seems to be actively savoring the positive experiences. It is a reminder that even for things we love, we need to actively engage with and appreciate the good moments to keep the flame burning bright. This is super interesting, right? It suggests that as fans, we can actually do something to help maintain our own passion. By making an effort to savor those wins, those great plays, those moments of connection with our favorite team, we can probably fight off that mid-season slump in our enthusiasm. And for teams and leagues, it highlights that fostering an environment where fans can easily savor success might be more important than we thought for keeping engagement high. It makes you wonder what other everyday activities have these seasonal cycles of passion that we haven't even noticed. And how could intentionally savoring positive moments in those activities change our experience? This study opens up a lot of exciting avenues for future research. So, what do you think? Does this resonate with your experience as a sports fan or your passion for any other seasonal activity? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to RUBIN'S Mind Lab for more journeys into the fascinating world of psychology. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.